to young people today. I am a student at Bertie Early College High School, and I'm the president of God's Chosen, the Next Generation, which is a youth group hosted by Cono Missionary Baptist Church, but open to all youth, whether you are a member of another church or even you are without a church house. I'm sorry. God's Chosen meets the Saturday before the second Sunday of the month, usually at 11 o'clock a.m. Before here at Cono Canary, we meet and discuss relevant topics as well as fellowship, all from a biblical perspective. If you're interested, please call Cono Canary at 252-345-2174. We end sessions with our podcast, where we discuss and interview guests who share the ex- expertise of given topics. Today we are discussing issues that affect of our community. Our guest today, Dr. Chandra Eley, principal of Aulander Elementary. Hi, how are you doing today?
How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So the first question I would like to ask you is, can you tell us a background of your background?
Yes, so I've had many years experience in early childhood and elementary education. I have a bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies, but I also have a master's degree in elementary education, school administration, and a doctorate in educational leadership.
How long have you been in education?
I've been in education and serving students and families for over 20 years, and that's a combination of my elementary ed as well as early childhood degree years.
That's good. How does one seek a career education?
Well, there are different paths that you can take. The two most common is, of course, going to school to be an educator. The other is more so called a career switcher, where you went to school for something else and decided to transition into the educational realm. And so then you would bring your transcripts to the hiring district. They would see if you meet the criteria to be in the educational preparation program. So I would encourage everyone to, you can visit the DPI website, the Department of Public Instruction, and then to also go to the human resources of the hiring district, and they can give you guidance.
What are the biggest challenges that you have observed in Bertie County schools?
So two things I can speak on. One is attracting and retaining teachers because they need a place to stay. So I want to give the district a shout out because they're developing Dream Point, which is a housing complex for our teachers. Is off of MLK Drive, and it will be completed about June 2024. Also, 100% of our students do not thrive in the traditional education setting, or as well as parents are not prepared to do homeschooling. And so there needs to be an alternative to help our students and meet their needs. So the district is in talk about how we can do that for our students.
That's real good. Why do you choose elementary education?
I can't say that I chose it. God gave me the vision for early childhood, and then I just continued the path that He has laid before me. I think it has a lot to do with the experience that I had helping children to prepare to go into the public school system, and again, helping parents and serving students.
What can parents do to assist their children with their education?
So in elementary education, of course, just being present, communicating with teachers, working with the staff, helping your child to read, reading with them on a nightly basis, also just being involved. And then when you get to secondary education, I believe it's important to just be a part of your child's education and still be in communication with their teachers. I believe that the more school and home works together, the more successful our students will be.
Are low wealth school districts at a advantage in the state of North Carolina?
Well, I'm gonna give you a tactful answer on that one. So federal and state leaders, they do help support financially the low wealth districts, but sometimes it's not enough to meet the needs of our students. And so when you're comparing low wealth districts to high wealth districts, the low wealth districts don't always have the opportunities for access in implementing programs, increasing the number of teachers needed for our students, and then creating those learning environments.
Are there any new techniques being developed in elementary education?
So currently, the state is implementing the science of reading. So it has research about the brain, and it talks about the 5 key components: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. So with this new implementation, and by being research-based, it's going to help us to bring what's needed within the classroom to help our students to become readers.
How is Aulander Elementary doing as far as meeting the state's mandates or benchmarks?
So right now, Aulander's in a good place. I'm pleased to say that we're right where we need to be. Last school year, we had a composite score of 69, and the year before, 2021-22, it was at 61. So we've gained 8 points, and with saying that, that just simply means that we're 1 point away from being a B school. And so our focus this year is to grow all students and to continue to meet the needs of our students.
Is Aulander Elementary School is really closing next year?
No final decision has been made at this time. I believe that the superintendent, along with the Board of Education, they will make the appropriate decision based on the pros and cons. Some of the things they're looking at, the declining attendance rates, or the declining rates of students enrolling, I should say, as well as the cost that it takes to operate a school. And but I do encourage everyone to come out November the 27th at 6 p.m. in Aulander Gym, and we're having a public hearing to hear the communities, the stakeholders' perspectives on this issue.
So like she said, please come out and talk about it with them.
Your voices can be heard at that time.
Does God play a role in your life, in your position?
So personally and professionally, I would say yes. I believe in letting God lead me. I'm here because this is the path He's laid for me. I try to put God at the forefront of my thoughts in all that I do, because I don't want people to see me. I want them to see God in me. And I never want to forget the sacrifice Jesus made on the cross for me. I never want to forget all the blessings that God has given me. And then I'm relying on the Holy Spirit to guide and direct me so I can be pleasing to God.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
So 3 things I would like to say: to honor our veterans and those that are actively serving personnel, military personnel. Thank you for your service. I would like to say to everyone to continue to invest in and support our youth, because they are the future. And then I want to say to Cono Canary, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Do we have any questions in the audience?
Yes, ma'am. So one of the ideas that's proposed, that if the school does close, the students will be merged to Westburg T. Yes, ma'am, and they have the capacity to house many others as well as teachers. And I also think the district is going to look at the number to see if there does need to be a shift. Maybe some go to Windsor, and then, but the majority will go to West Bertie Elementary School. Yes, sir.
Two questions. One, to piggyback, you said one of the reasons that Aulander may close is economics of numbers.
Yes, sir.
So is there a cutoff number in terms of students that should be a target number that they're looking at for the school district to make it feasible?
I'm not aware of a target number. Last year, when I started as principal in November 22, we had approximately 123. This year, we have 117, and that's pre-K through 5. So again, they're looking at the numbers and then the economic piece. How much does it cost to continue to maintain and run a school each year?
And the second question is, what can faith-based organizations, churches, what can we do to help Aulander? Is there anything that we can do particularly to try to assist you in Aulander?
Yes, sir. We're always willing to have support of the community, to come in, to support our students, to help with reading to our students, helping provide anything that may be a challenge for them as far as clothing, but just being there for our students. Your face and your presence will be beneficial. And then, of course, on November the 27th, just showing up and letting your voice be heard. Yes, ma'am.
How do you go about becoming a volunteer with the area?
Yes, ma'am. So on the Bertie County website, under Human Resources, there's a volunteer form. You have to have a background check, and then once that paperwork is done and we get the approval, you can come in and volunteer. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Are you a student? Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate all help. Yes, ma'am. Actually, we solicit the participation in for our early college and our high school students to volunteer at different events that we have. So, for instance, we're going to have a science night in the spring. So we would like for you to come and help do science experiments with our children and with the families. Can I expect to see you there? I'm going to hold you to it.
If it's not any more questions, thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
This is it for the podcast. Thank you again, and I hope y'all have a rest of the day. Thank you.